Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing very well. Today we're in the Yak-52 and we finally have radio compass, ADF, automatic direction finding, working. I have a soft spot for the Yak-52 as you probably know, so I'm really happy about it and I love the radio direction finding, I love the challenge of it. Radio direction finding will only work, we believe, in the Caucasus map because the Yak works on an old style Russian kilohertz range of radio finding. So if you went to Nevada, if you went to Persian Gulf, you would have megahertz range, and the World War II maps, I don't even know what they use, but almost certainly not kilohertz range. Whereas in the Caucasus, if you go and find an NDB, a non-directional beacon, like that there, or like that there, you'll see it has a number by it, which is the frequency in kilohertz, as you can see. So the idea is it allows us to navigate to a point, or if you're using inner and outer beacons, it allows you to do an IFR landing. It'll allow me to navigate to that outer marker there, which is going to be 2 miles from the runway, or whatever it is for this runway, and then an inner marker there, which is going to be half a mile or a mile away from the runway, and basically fly in. So we're going to do a very rough version of that because we want to do it as quickly as we possibly can. It's a very basic ARC system. It cannot be programmed in the plane itself. It has to be programmed in the mission headed to here. So click on our plane there. We're going to go to that there, radio presets. Our radio compass is the ARK15 mic. We have 4 channels, each equipped with an outer and an inner beacon, frequency in kilohertz, amplitude modulation. We're here going in that direction and we want to find that beacon and then get on a radial for that runway and land in that runway. So this one here first, the outer beacon is 335.00 kilohertz, Morse code identifier, Bravo, India. So let's go back there. So let's use channel 2, shall we? 335. And this, the inner marker is 688 kilohertz, Morse code identifier, Bravo, 688. Bosh, save. In the cockpit. Right, we feature the radio here, master audio here, and the ARK15M panel here. First, channel selector knob. Do I 1, 2, 3, or 4? And I want 2. Next, do we want telegraph or do we want telephone? I don't think this actually makes any difference in DCS, but that would be Morse, that would be voice, and we're just going to leave it on Morse. Next, do you want the action of receiving the radio input to drive a radio compass, or do you want it to give us audio for a Morse code identifier? You can't do them both at the same time in this aircraft. So in this case, we're going to go aft, which is Morse identifier. We'll do the radio compass afterwards. Green light shows that we are driving it in the front cockpit, vice versa in the rear cockpit. And if we want to request control of it in our cockpit, we press that guy there. We've also got a volume knob, which we're going to turn clockwise, and a test button there. Move over to our master audio. We're going to go volume fully up and PK, which is going to allow us to listen through the radio set our ARK15M signal, and you can hear that Morse code coming in now. I'm going to pump that volume up as well. That Morse code will tell you the Morse code identifier of the radio station to make sure we've picked up. In this case, it would be Bravo India. So if you took that over to Google and translated that Morse code that you can hear, it would of course say Bravo India. Right, so we've proved that that says Bravo India. Next, we're going to go to compass, and it's going to drive our radio compass. Next, we're going to head to the radio compass, which is here. It's driven our needle to point in that direction there, about magnetic 058, off on the kind of 2 o'clock position, which is fine. That's good, but we also need to input the radial of the runway. You get this from your kneeboard, or if you're going to be super lazy like me, you're just going to draw a line down the runway like that. Like that. And you got 095 true. What's the magnetic declination in the Caucasus? Well, depending exactly where you are, it's going to be about -6 degrees. So -6 degrees gives us 088 magnetic radial of the runway. Back in here, and change our course line here with the mouse scroll wheel to 088 magnetic, which is the radial of our runway, to 088 magnetic, which is going to be about there. The name of the game now is to fly offset to the left in this case until the radio compass needle here and the radial or the course line here intercept each other, and then once both those 2 needles are merged, we're going to turn right so that both of them are merged and point in the 12 o'clock position. That will mean that A, we are on the radial / course of the runway, and B, that our heading is correct. We'll do that all the way until we intercept the outer beacon. Remember that we do not have ranging this, it is azimuth only. So let's unpause if I can. some power on, fly roughly in the course we're doing at the moment. Remember one thing, the radio compass needle only works when your wings level, so it will not work when you're doing any kind of bank. Speed up time, get those two babies to intercept, and they're intercepting now. Turn just before the merge, and we're turning in now. And level out and get a proper reading. Okay, a little bit more right. Not allowed to look out the windscreen, remember. Driving this completely IFR. Okay, so we've got them, as you can see now, the two needles merge and exactly in the 12 o'clock position. We now just fly, heads down like thus, until we hit the first beacon. We're going to make constant corrections, obviously, to keep the guys aligned and in the 12 o'clock position. I've slightly offset left, so I'm going to go right now to chase the needles together. Over together. Now I'm going to turn back left. Back on radial. Okay, the compass needle is slightly to the left now, and the compass needle is now turning quite quickly. No, we're okay for that. So what we were waiting for, what I was looking for, is the compass needle to turn violently to the left or the right. That means that we are, if I see... Oh, look, we're right over the top of it. That's cool. It means we're going right over the outer beacon, the first NDB. So we know that's happened, and we're in position. Next, we're going to switch this guy here to the inner marker. So ping, oops, ping. And now we're going to repeat the same exercise. So we've got the two needles together. Heads down, must not cheat. And we need to slightly offset right here to drive the needles together again. Like thus, and now we can turn left to get them on the 12 o'clock position, like thus, slightly askew, so we need to go left slightly, and I'm going to go right slightly, and ping. I can see him coming up in my peripheral vision. That is the inner marker, and then at that point you're expected to have a VFR of the runway lights or whatever anyway, so you're in for the landing. So we weren't doing a proper landing there, but just showing you how we can use the Arc 5M in tandem with inner and outer beacons to get on radial for a runway, or you can just use the outer beacon just to go to a single NDB for general navigation. I hope that was useful, and see you later.